So, hello, good evening, welcome along, how you doing? Welcome to Let's Talk Trek Watch Along Special. That's right, it's one of these ones where we watch a film together and we all give random commentary on it.
Yes.
Think of it like director's commentary, but not by the director.
Yes. It's one of those cases of watching us, watching them.
This is like Gogglebox, but just not as good.
Ah, well, who watches the watchers? No, seriously, let us know who's watching the watchers. Stick your names in. Evening, Ben.
Hello.
Who else
Yes.
have we got?
So we do have some others due to join us. Everyone seems to be running a bit late tonight because it's been a busy day.
It has, strangely enough.
You wouldn't think, would you? In the middle of lockdown, it'd be as busy as it is, but yeah, horrendously busy day.
Ah, well, it's nearing the end of lockdown, and there are preparations to be made.
Oh, don't. Not digressing off what we're doing. There are preparations to be made. My afternoon has consisted of, and let me just grab it all. This many COVID risk assessments, and operation plans, and safety briefings, and other assorted rubbish for next week. So that's all of my COVID stuff ready and waiting for work. So that's what today has been.
Evening, April. Not to put too much of a downer on it. I know Dan's going to really enjoy this, but yeah, Star Trek 5.
Oh, yes, I love Star Trek 5. We'll do Star Trek 6 eventually as well. But
Yeah,
5,
we're just doing them in a random order. It's as if we're rolling dice to find out which one we're going to watch next.
Adam says he's so glad that we're not watching Discovery. Yes, we'll sit down and do a Discovery watch along. We'll start on a Monday and hopefully be done by the Friday. That would be the most epic watch along series ever.
Yeah.
We could start like clean shaven and just end up with facial hair by the end of it, you know. And it'd be like, oh, for God's sake!
Oh, I've only just done my lockdown haircut today. I thought I'll do it a couple of weeks before I'm due to reopen the pub, and that way, if anything goes wrong, it'll grow back a bit.
Oh.
They always say the difference between a good and bad haircut's about 2 weeks. So
Yeah, I like that theory.
You're right. Star Trek 5 does have a unique originality to it.
What does God need with a starship?
Not just that, and I'm going to watch out for this tonight because I've not seen Star Trek 5 for a long time, but my memory of it from a special effects point of view is that of all the Trek films, including the motion picture where you expected to see the black line around all the ships in the special effects sequences, they should have got rid of that by Star Trek 5, and they didn't, from what I recall. And that, to me, the special effects were always a little bit dodgy in Star Trek 5.
Well, yeah. It was done with a budget, wasn't it?
Of course it was done with a budget. And, we've sat and watched Mr. Shatner give a talk about this film. And if I recall, if he'd have had his way, it would have been a much bigger, much more epic film with rock monsters.
Do you know what? Rock monsters, when you say rock monsters, I think of Galaxy Quest.
Galaxy Quest. I knew you were going to say that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I was wondering if that's maybe where they got the idea from.
You wouldn't think they'd steal an idea, would you?
No, not at all. Good evening, James.
Hey up, Skipper. How you doing?
Oh.
Hey, there it is.
Look at him. Theatrical release.
Just for our younger viewer, before Netflix, before Blu-ray, there was DVD.
David.
Well, do you know what? It's strange you say that because as people are chatting in the comments and all saying hello to each other, we've got like 20 odd people watching.
First time watcher. Evening.
Do you remember before?
You are in for a treat.
Do you remember before Netflix there was Love Film? And Love Film used to post DVDs
to a DVD.
Yeah.
And you had to send it back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we got Andrea from Arizona this evening. Evening, Andrea.
Or afternoon, as it might be out there at the moment.
Probably is there, yeah.
Yeah, probably is. Or early evening. Depending how many hours behind us you currently are. Ben does say that this has one of the best Star Trek soundtracks, which it does.
It does, yes. Yeah, that one I will concede. Worst special effects, but best soundtrack.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love this film. It's not a John Williams soundtrack. But no one can quite do a soundtrack like John Williams.
Michael Giacchino.
I don't know. I think I prefer John Williams for soundtracks, to be honest. You think of all the great John Williams
He's that
soundtracks.
other franchise, what the Space Wars one.
Yeah. The one that goes pew, 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 pew.
Yeah, but you think about it. There's not been
Look at my laser sword.
there's not been a bad John Williams soundtrack.
Oh, that's a good shout from Ben. Jerry Goldsmith, he's done some good stuff.
Well, Goldsmith did Final Frontier, didn't he?
Yeah.
And you've also got in the Star Trek mix there, you've obviously got James Horner as well.
Oh, Horner.
So, what is new this week? I've seen that. We'll select some of this for the news on Sunday. But I see that
Don't spoil it. We're halfway through the week.
I was going to say that the Voyager documentary's done $1 million now.
$1 million now, yeah. Fantastic.
Crazy, insane.
Oh, come on.
James is now trying to remember how this disc technology works.
This
What
old
software
media.
works on a PC? I mean, yeah, there used to be you just put it in, it would play. There it is. That's the one I want. Right.
Right. Let me have a look on the.
This disc is empty. I don't think so.
Do you know what? I dream of the day that you work with technology, James.
Is that just your laptop going, oh God, not Star Trek 5?
It's my Steam-powered desktop.
What's this one called? Star Trek 5?
Final Frontier. It sits
That's
right between
strange.
the left and the right here.
Are you watching it on the same streaming facility I'm watching it on?
No?
Well, that's interesting. The streaming facility I meant to be watching it on, because obviously I suggested this, and my esteemed colleague told me it's definitely on there. He seems to have uploaded instead Star Trek 60 Undiscovered Country.
Oh. Do you not have a copy of Star Trek 5 anywhere?
Well, yeah, I'll get one off Amazon now. It'll take 2 minutes.
Come on, you've got a bloody DVD drive. Why aren't you working?
As you can tell, we are eminently professional.
Absolutely. We are so prepared. Star Trek.
It's Star Trek 5, Ben. Generations was a couple of weeks ago. I'm afraid you missed out on that.
The Final Frontier. There we go. Amazon. £2.49 to buy. Oh, sorry, £3.49 to rent in HD, or £4.99 to buy. Do they have an option where you get the DVD as well?
No.
You can use it as a beer mat.
Rental gets 30 days to start watching this video and 40 hours to finish. Right, okay. Rent. HD press play. Cool. Bought.
Sorted?
Yes.
Good.
Did you see, you see what Paul just put?
Yes.
I mean, it's not Star Trek. Star Trek is a great film.
It's all right, because as soon as Amazon realise what you're streaming from their service, they'll cut you off as well. You know, it's
What are you doing?
all this content and you choose Star Trek 5?
It's the only Star Trek film we charge for because we don't want people to watch it.
Do you remember the Microsoft paperclip who used to say things like, it
Oh,
looks like
God.
you're writing a letter?
Yeah.
Would you like me to bugger it up for you?
I assume you've seen Lower Deck.
Watch Star Trek 5.
Are you absolutely sure about this?
You've seen Lower Deck, haven't you,
Star Trek
James?
6.
Yes. Lower Deck has Badgie, their version of the paperclip. Oh, dear.
It looks like you're trying to fire torpedoes.
The Starship Enterprise was not correctly shut down. Would you like to reboot in safe mode?
God, can you imagine a Starship safe mode? Oof.
Now, obviously, how this works for people that haven't seen how we do these before is we watch it and we have it on headphones and we natter over the microphone. Now, you all press play at the same time and you get to listen to our witty commentary or not.
All that audio footage that was rejected for the special 50th anniversary edition, we're going to give you now.
Yes, and then you guys get to chip in on the text bit as well. We sort of discuss as we watch it. It's like you feel like Gogglebox, but with you involved.
Yeah,
and Richard might appear at some point. So.
Possibly.
Oh.
James has his notepad ready.
There's James with his George Foreman grill.
As you know, as a man, I'm able to multitask. I can watch a film, commentate on it, breathe, drink, and draft somebody's court order all at the same time.
Just at the pivotal moment, though, I just know somewhere in that court order there's going to be, oh, and one more question, Your Honour. What does God need with a starship?
What does a defendant need with a car?
Right, well, shall we crack on then, gents?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Why not? Are we all queued up and ready to go?
I've got the Paramount Mountain ready to go when you're... Actually, before we start, boys,
oh God,
in light of what happened last time, I've got...
Do you want to give us a head start?
So I've got a runtime of 102 minutes. What's yours?
Oh, crikey.
1 hour 46.
Yeah, I've got 1 hour 46.
1 hour 46?
Well, that's going to include the credits time, isn't it? Mine's a computer file as opposed to a hard media disc.
Okay, all right.
Well, I think we're close enough.
Let me introduce the film. So this evening's feature presentation, dear viewer, is Star Trek V: The Final Frontier, brought to you through the auspices of William Shatner. Allow me to read to you the sleeve description from the video case. It's Stardate 8454. No, I'm going to do the Hollywood.
I was going to say, would you mind doing it in the voice of Shatner?
No, I'm not going to Shatner. I'll do the Hollywood voice. Here we go. It's Stardate 8454.130. Vacationing Captain Kirk faces two challenges: climbing Yosemite's El Capitan and teaching campfire songs to Spock. But vacations are cut short when a renegade Vulcan hijacks the Enterprise, TM, and pilots it on a journey to uncover the universe's innermost secrets. The Star Trek stars are back for one of their most astonishing voyages ever, with all the fun and excitement fans have come to love. So buckle up for a thrilling leap into the unknown that's as much a spiritual odyssey as a space adventure, and it's all the richer for it.
Well, that's certainly, got my attention.
That's exciting, isn't it?
It's not. You wouldn't imagine the start of a synopsis for a Star Trek film being about campfires. Oh, quality. Right, shall we do this then, gents?
Yes.
Right. Shall we roll VT?
Yes, let's have a countdown, shall we, so that all our viewers can join in as well.
Well, it's Star Trek 5, so do we count down from 5?
Yes, yeah, countdown. Now, do we press play on 1, or do you say 5, 4, 3,
5,
2,
4,
1?
3, 2, 1, go.
Play. Right, okay.
Oh, you want me
Who's doing
to?
it together?
Go on, James.
Okay,
You,
go on,
you have the Hollywood voice ready.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
See, I do prefer the old Paramount Mountain to the CG one they put into newer films.
Well, do you know, it's going to be replaced, and this is a fact, with Anson Mount.
Really?
He's a small hill in the Brecon Beacons.
No.
Boom.
When I was at school, we had computers which were called Nimbus computers. And in the
Yes, I
computer
remember.
world-
RM Nimbus had a little owl on them.
Yeah, Nimbus 3 was always the most popular one.
Mm.
Now, it's strange. This Sandy thing Sort of looks like our local park did today after the sun's eradicated most of it.
All those holes do remind me of the roads around here as well.
Oh, can you imagine if they'd fixed all the roads? I'm disappointed that this is in HD and DS9 isn't.
Yeah, there's no way that there's a bigger call for this than there is for DS9.
Well, obviously there was. Maybe this is what they used to torture people with, you know. And I like this film, but even I know it's bad, you know. You sit a man in a cell and put this on. You put this on repeat, or the motion picture on repeat for 24 hours solid. A man will tell you anything you need to know. Trouble is, I hear everything now in the voice of Sean Connery.
Yes. I thought weapons were forbidden on Nimbus 3.
This scene makes a lot more sense if you read the book.
I haven't read the book for this one.
Carl's secret pain is watching Star Trek V.
Richard's secret pain is showing up for web chats on time.
Oh, people in glass houses, I can't comment.
You were fine. You were here before we started.
Yeah, I mean, to anyone watching this film for the first time, firstly, our apologies. And second, that first scene doesn't make a huge amount of sense until you know what's happening later in the film.
Yeah, read the book. It explains it. For our younger viewers, a book is a thing made of paper with many pages that explain the plot, so you don't watch it on a screen.
Now, Moo Wayne, who's watching on Facebook and has commented, they can't see anything. You have to find your own copy. We can't show it because of copyright reasons.
Here's a book. Yes.
So you get to watch us watching the film like a DVD extra. But you need to watch the film yourself.
There are no starships on Nimbus 3.
You're already there?
Oh, for heaven's sake, not this again.
Yeah, no, don't worry, James. I'm with you.
Oh, I'm there now.
He's a happy, smiley Vulcan. A number of Mr. Spock's assorted and as yet unknown siblings.
Nadim's got to get on the right way to get unfriended. He's siding with James.
On the contrary, I was at James's point as well. It's you that's the odd one out.
I'm now in the credits. Are you in the credits?
I'm in the credits.
Just starting.
Whee!
It is a great soundtrack. Boom, boom.
If I remember the tidbits correctly, Harv Bennett, the producer, isn't he the admiral that comes on screen while they're in space dock?
Admiral Harv Bennett. I mean, in many respects, this is the final classic series cast film where they have a proper sort of Star Trek adventure, because Undiscovered Country, while undoubtedly a brilliant film, is very dark in tone. It doesn't really match with the original series, which was always frothy and lighthearted and fun.
Yeah, I've got a really. I love this film, and I've always loved Star Trek 5. I really, really like Star Trek 6, and Star Trek 6 is probably in my top 3 Star Trek films. I think I like that darker tone that it sort of took.
Well, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying it's closer to what the original series was.
Yeah.
They go off on a frothy, campy adventure. Interesting fact, the little pouch that Shatner has here that you think he's got dust in for climbing is actually full of jelly babies.
Did Shatner actually do any climbing himself, or is it all stunt people? Do we know?
Couldn't tell you.
I think this section of wall may well have been a fake section in the Paramount backlot. So I think you have Shatner climbing on. I mean, this is not Shatner, but certain elements of it. I mean, obviously, there's a close-up where Spock is flying alongside him, so they did have a section of wall.
There was something in the news this week that popped up because of this scene in Star Trek 5. Another chap who this week has free climbed El Capitan.
I saw that on the BBC.
And you look at the actual picture of the guy halfway up the crack.
It's vertical.
And it's absolutely insane.
I mean, I know it takes all kinds to make the world spin round, but free climbing up a sheer cliff is not on my bucket list.
No.
I mean, I'd much prefer to take the rocket boots. Or the Red Dwarf version, the rocket-powered jet pants.
What even possesses you, though? Seriously, I get the whole thrill seeking and everything like that. But if you look at something like El Capitan from the bottom, go, yeah, I reckon I can do that. Seriously?
It's because it's there, isn't it? That's why people do it.
Yeah, I get that. Well, I don't, because otherwise I'd do the rock climbing. But
Kirk wears the T-shirt in a minute saying, go climb a rock, doesn't he?
Which you can buy. It's available to buy these days.
And he tells Spock why you climb a mountain.
Because it's there.
God damn it, Jim. Playing games with life.
If I'm not careful,
love
I'll end
McCoy,
up
such a
talking to
grouch.
myself.
Now, the interesting thing is Industrial Light, Sound and Magic, who did the special effects for 2, 3 and 4, weren't available for this film, it says here, as they were too busy working on Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade and Ghostbusters 2.
Ghostbusters 2, not a very beloved sequel, but still a fun one. Superb effect of Kirk falling there.
Oh, now you are ahead.
the binoculars that McCoy holds up remind me of a toy I had as a child. It was a Tomy toy, which was a racing game that you had to sort of control like this, and the light shone in from the top.
Trouble is there, you can see the harness that was on the back of that chap there. You could see it pulling up from the back of his...
Right, I've just arrived in Paradise City. Are you there?
No, he's just been saved by Spock.
All right, when you're in the bar with the cat, tell me. I seem to have got ahead again.
Oh, you want to pause it on that scene, do you, James?
Now, there are 2 cuts of this film, I'm just reading. One is nearly 2 hours and one is 1 hour and 40. Right,
Are you in the bar yet?
In the bar now.
Right, has the lady in the hooded robe come in?
Just.
Right, there we are. Synchronized.
So this is obviously Mos Eisley Cantina set that we've borrowed off George because...
he just turned around and said, if the company can't help you do the special effects, we'll at least let you use some of the sets.
The pool table was ridiculous, wasn't it?
It's terrible, isn't it?
Go on, lads, have a half-hearted fight down at the front there. David Warner.
Who, of course, was in the next film as well.
Yes. And who was a terrific sport, because when I got to interview him, he did the "How many lights do you see?" line to me.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, brilliant.
Have you ever seen a more smiley, happy Romulan?
Is that a single by REM?
Ooh. Of all the Trek films, do you have a preferred film?
Generations.
It's a toss-up for me between Star Trek First Contact and Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country.
For me, it's between Wrath of Khan and Insurrection.
Are we talking the best Trek film or your favourite Trek film? Now, that's a different thing, I think.
Well, it's asked if we've got a preferred Trek film, so it'd be our personal favourite, wouldn't it? Well, that's very brave, Nadim. Saying that potentially the motion picture. Ooh, there are some great moments in it, but...
Lines like, "It's how we all feel, Mr. Spock," that fall completely flat.
This is where I almost expect that line, "Oh, the peasants are revolting." I know.
Now I'm imagining the Carry On cast doing this one as well.
Yeah.
The bar.
I actually thought that when I saw all the rebels running up towards Paradise City, I thought, that looks like a scene off Carry On, Follow That Camel.
Is that Roy Castle at the front there? Actually, that's a point. She says the governments will stop at nothing to ensure their safety. Do we see the Romulans turn up at all?
Nope.
They don't even bother.
And Nazim says it's the first film that he saw in the cinema, which is why motion picture might be in there. Paul says that Voyage Home or Undiscovered Country.
Voyage Home's a lovely film, full of heart.
Tell you what, Space Dock's a lovely shot, isn't it? No matter what film or series that's it.
This is, I think, my favourite version of the classic Enterprise movie bridge because it's so light and airy. The one in Star Trek 6, if Darren Jameson's watching, I know that's his favourite because it's very atmospheric, but I find it too dark. And the one in the motion picture and the Wrath of Khan just made no sense to me. It was just all blinky lights. It didn't seem to have any sense to it. Good morning, Captain, on the screen.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that scene from Search for Spock. How can you have a red alert in Space Dock?
Yeah. I love the way Uhura, though, she's dead sort of like, identify yourself. Well, who else is it going to be? Who else is going to be issuing the red alert?
Well, bear in mind, she lied to get a red alert issued previously.
It's a miracle.
Look, it's James with his triangle. Oh. Oh, God.
So you missed a perfect opportunity for movie participation then, James.
Is that what Mrs. Dillon has to summon you for dinner? Come and get it!
What gets me is it's done a pot of beans and they've got like a spoon and a bit each. Really? That's after the guy's tried climbing a mountain, he gets like a spoon and a half of beans as his tea. Poor bugger, he's going to be knackered.
These days, that would be classed as bullying in the workplace,
It would.
which is a sad reflection on the world.
But you don't die alone, Kirk.
We went through this the other week. He dies without his friends.
But he dies with Picard there.
And Picard's his new friend.
That he's known for all of, 12 minutes or something?
Actually, he might have known him for eternity. They were in the Nexus. It could have been 1,000,000 years.
I'd still say that they lived up to the continuity of that. I would say, even though Picard was there, he didn't have any of his close friends there. He died alone. Pretty sad, really, but...
Again, this scene makes more sense if you read the book, in that McCoy has set Spock up to think these are called marshmelons.
And the marshmallow dispenser was only there so they could sell the toy. It was a tie-in for a toy that was being sold.
Has anyone ever seen one? Anyone in the comments ever seen one of these things?
They pop up every so often, and they go for mega money. Like,
Really?
oh yeah, more money than is even sensible to pay.
I'm going to have to Google that now.
I'll say, even in the world of 3D printing.
Ooh, well, Google has immediately worked out what I was looking for. I've just found one for 46 US dollars.
Yes, considering what it is.
Well, it's not mega money.
There's one on eBay at the moment.
A cheap and nasty piece of tat, though.
There's one on eBay at the moment for $39 with $60 shipping.
Yes.
Would make a great collectible, though, for a collectible corner.
If you want to buy it, I'll review it.
There's so much of my collection at your house already anyway.
Well, if you hadn't have turned up on your bike today, you could have had it back.
Bike wins, unfortunately. Who's going to say no to 170 horsepower? You can't beat the satisfaction of two wheels. It's the best feeling ever.
Night, Jim. Night, John Boy.
Yeah, you're well ahead of us again now, James.
Oh, really?
Only just finished singing Row Your Boat.
Hang on. Right, when you see the Voyager probe, let me know.
Okay.
We're going to have to buy James a copy of all the director's cuts.
We're just going to have to buy him the standard cuts, I think. Because I think the trouble is he's watching like the extended versions every time we watch the standard.
No, he can't, because we're taking longer to watch. He must be watching the short version.
Yes, I'm always seeming to get ahead. I don't know why. This is on a different device as well.
They're speaking at the right speed, aren't they? I know we said that the other day, but they're not like...
No, they're not.
Yeah.
Voyager probe.
Oh, Voyager probe.
It's not like listening to
Voyager probe,
Tilly.
James.
He's just been to the barber. It's given him an electric shock.
I like the way that very little has changed with the Klingon Bird of Prey bridge over the years.
Well, plainly, this is the set they used in Voyage Home, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but I'm just thinking, even when you get to like see Worf and Martok on the bridge of their Bird of Prey in DS9, it's very similar sort of layout. There's not a lot changed in it.
The thing about the Bird of Prey that a lot of people don't appreciate is that the scale of it varies wildly, and it is said that there are numerous models of different size, but they all look the same externally, which is very easy for shooting models. So, yeah, I mean, the one that destroys the original Enterprise in Search for Spock is meant to be quite a small one, with only like half a dozen crew.
I think the periscope's a lovely touch.
Mm.
It's missed a lot especially if you start watching DS9 seasons 4 onwards. When the Klingons are getting into the Dominion War.
Yeah.
It would be nice to have seen the periscope in a lot of those scenes, but it didn't happen, unfortunately.
Again, in the book, they explain that Captain Clar there is an expert marksman or something, and his is a special fitting for his bird of prey because of that. So he likes to be the gunner rather than having a specific gunner to work for him. Oh, look at that shot of the Enterprise. That's my favourite one.
There are some very redeeming shots and features in this film, which make up for some of the bits that are a little bit ropey.
Well, the shuttlecraft are one of my favourite things in this film. This is my favourite Star Trek shuttlecraft, bar none. And I just think it looks fantastic. It only appears in this film.
Yeah.
Now, I think I'm correct in saying that there are certain shots and background pieces which are from TNG, and you can see TNG influences in bits throughout this.
Well, like the engine room, when you see it in Undiscovered Country, is the Enterprise D engine room, isn't it? And
You see those red flashing tubes at the back? They're in everything, aren't they? Those longer ones where there's two of them. I think the first time I ever saw them was on Regular One in The Wrath of Khan. Then they're in this. But then they're also in Dr. Sun's lab on Omicron Theta, where they first discover data.
Have you never seen Airplane 2, where they appear, and specifically there's a whole scene about them? What have you discovered? These red lights just keep going back and forth. Aside from that, this thing has no other function at all.
Yeah, I had forgotten about it, but yeah, now that you've said it.
Look at that old PC monitor in the lift there to give us the impression of it. Brilliant.
Quick, while we turn this around so that when they walk out, it's a different set.
That's Shatner's daughter there handing him his jacket.
Yes, now there's a running joke that a captain's yeoman had nothing to do, and if you watch, part of it is that she just wanders around for the rest of the scene carrying his jacket because there's nowhere on the actual bridge to hang a coat. But yes, it is Shatner's daughter.
And here, as you said, is Harve Bennett.
She's like, how can I help? I've got his jacket. Oh, God, no.
My dad's Captain Kirk, and I can't even hand something over without falling over.
I'll just carry this jacket around a bit more.
So give him a ship that's working then.
Yeah. Excelsior was sat in space dock there.
Yeah, but its warp drive doesn't work because somebody broke it.
Exactly. Send him back aboard and put the part back. Job done. 5 minutes. Away you go.
How irritating that all he did was take out the fuse.
Yeah.
Racist.
You say undermanned, but they managed to take the ship to go to the Genesis planet with 5 of them, and the rest of it on automation.
Yeah.
You don't really need a crew.
Well, the automation system's overloaded, Captain. I wasn't expecting to take us into combat.
Now, I've read several times that in universe, this wasn't a new ship. This was a rebadged ship. I can't remember the name of what he was. They essentially
Either the Tai-Ho or the Yorktown, depending on which source you read.
Which had been damaged, I believe, by the Voyager probe. Was some of the things I'd read, which is why it was such a disaster as it was now.
Well, if it's the Yorktown, it's an old ship that's been upgraded. And if it's the Tai-Ho, it was a newly commissioned Constitution class that was rebadged before it was launched.
Now, this Klingon lady here, Kim Cattrall, actually auditioned for the part of the Klingon warrior lady here, but didn't get the part and was later used in Star Trek VI instead.
Hilarious.
Yes.
Are you seeing cord on the screen revolving?
Yes.
Does it remind you of the beginning of Shooting Stars, where they brought on the contestants and they revolved them on a turntable? I've always rather liked the bomber jacket that Kirk wears in this scene. That's very cool.
It's not one that you see at the conventions doing as cosplay very often.
Anavos have released it, but as with most of Anavos, you order it, it disappears for years at a time.
Well, didn't you say before? I sort of skip read it. Master Replicas have gone into bankruptcy.
Yeah, I picked up on that this morning. So they've done some Trek stuff. I think they're better known for Star Wars stuff, to be honest, like lightsabers and so on. But yeah, I mean, really high end stuff, very much in demand.
Yeah,
not sure what's happened there. They seem to have overreached themselves. I'm not sure it was entirely pandemic related.
I've seen they've gone for Chapter 7 bankruptcy protection, so they will still exist as a company, but they won't have to pay any of the debts back. So
yeah. However, any company that does that sort of strategy, people don't want to trade with it in future, do they? Because they say, well, how am I going to know that you're going to pay my fee?
So here we go. Enterprise D, very looking corridor there.
But it should be said, the Enterprise D corridors were recycled from the sets built for the motion picture, so it's all kind of cyclical.
A big shout out to Liam Dillon, who's just texted me and said, good luck watching the film tonight. He's very busy at the moment painting this guy.
That's Spock's head.
It is Spock's head. And we will be talking to Liam on the show in a couple of weeks' time about Star Trek models and uniforms. He's asked us to come on to our show, so we're going to have him as a special guest.
Special guest?
Mystery guest. Mystery guest. Go on, Spock. At this point, you could mention he's your brother, and you've got a sister called Michael. This is the time to mention these things.
Yeah.
He ain't heavy. He's my brother. This is sort of the Enterprise A equivalent of 10 forward by the looks of it.
Very quiet now for a 10 forward.
Well, there's no crew on board, is there?
I wondered if it was more like an officer's mess. Yeah. Yeah. Or your NCOs and riffraff somewhere else.
I mean, to be honest, if you look at the 10 forward set, it is incredibly bland, isn't it? It's just some plastic tables and chairs. You've got the windows, and that's it. There's nothing else in the room. That was quite a nice, cozy looking room with the big steering wheel at the front. TNG transporter room there.
I can guarantee that that big steering wheel was not bought on the basis of, once we finish this, it'll come to my house, said William Shatner. It's a work expense, honestly.
Oh, the Galileo. Now, this is a great scene with the Marines on the shuttle and where the shuttle lands. I think that's brilliant. And it's where the soundtrack is at its best.
In fact, it's like, what this needs is more brass, more horns.
Captain Pevelchikov.
Now, I've got the trivia section open on IMDb, so I'm sort of reading that as we're watching the film. Now, it says...
Are you watching the shuttle land, Dan, by the way? This is one of my favourite bits in all of the films.
Oh, well, we'll be quiet while this happens then.
Well, we've just got Chekhov on screen at the moment, starting.
Oh, you're a few seconds behind again. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, it's landed on my screen. Carry on, sir.
It says, during pre-production meetings, screenwriter David Luffy jokingly proposed to have Commander Uhura appear as an erotic dancer in order to lure away the hostage takers from the Paradise compound. He was surprised when the producers approved of the idea right away.
Spock's binoculars here, and Kirk's. If you're being clandestine, hiding behind a mountain or whatever to view the thing, it then lights up bright red. Brilliant.
Although red light apparently is very hard for other people to see, which is why
they use it. Yeah.
Yeah, if you go out and you do any training with the British Army, you're instructed to bring a red light with you for map reading and things of that nature.
Back in my cadet days, you were always taught to close one eye when you were exposed to any kind of light in dark conditions because it preserved your night vision.
Yep.
Again, these remind me of these. I'm going to try and find a picture of them while we're nattering. It was a games console when I was a kid. Aha. What was it? That was a Tomitronic. Am I the only person that remembers these?
Yep.
Got an image of it there, Dan.
I'm going to bring an image up now. Let's have a look. View image. Where's the view image button? Here we go. If I share screen and drop that one into our chat. These were a video game that you held up, and they worked on the basis of the light shining through this little opaque window. But they always remind me of them binocular things from. And I'm obviously the only one that remembers this. So. See, so many other people in the chat remember them as well.
Mhm.
There was a couple of different ones. There's a red one, a black one, a white one.
These the assault uniforms they wear in this scene are among my favourites yet. You hardly ever see anyone cosplay these.
No.
The phaser bazooka as well.
Well, the assault phasers, they're rather cool, aren't they?
Mm.
Are these the same ones as they use in Star Trek 6?
Looks like it.
We don't really get a very good view of them in this film. Kirk can't help but saunter into that bar, which is obviously 10 forward, by the way.
Mm. What gets me about that bit, though, where Spock nerve pinches the horse, the guy on top's just sat there going, "Oh, what's he doing? Oh, the horse! Oh!" You know.
Fantastic.
Like you say, it's very blatantly 10 forwards, but
Right, my beer has developed a grievous fault. I'm going to have to go and repair it.
I've never understood how throwing the cat into a wet pool table kills it.
I can only assume there's some sort of electricity in the pool table as well.
Well, we certainly do.
Absolutely. I mean, we actually met at conventions, and we've been on stage at conventions, and we've hosted panels at conventions. And stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing better than a good convention. Did you notice? I know we were joking about that being like the La Cantina scene from Star Wars, but one of the aliens in the background of that crowd actually looked like one of the flute players from the Star Wars scene.
It's extremely possible. Now that background noise, I can only assume it's James back with his beer.
Ah.
Oh, at least I haven't missed the good bit.
Depends how much further ahead you are than us.
Right, my beer is also faulty, so I'll be back in a minute.
15.5 seconds to land the shuttle. I've just heard that line. Where are you?
No, we've only just gone to red alert.
All right, when Cord says they intend to strike, let me know.
Will do.
I don't understand how I keep getting ahead.
Just said it now.
Okay. I love emergency landing plan B.
You can't be serious.
I love the look on Sulu's face as he says that. Actually, it's my first attempt.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Way! You just lost your no claims bonus.
Ooh. That's not going to tee cut out, is it?
Don't know. It's still a better landing than Deanna Troy managed.
Yep, very much so.
And it's still only one shuttlecraft destroyed opposed to Janeway's 10,000 or whatever it was. Yeah.
So you had brilliant effects of that shuttle crash, and then they have a really poor effect of the Enterprise going to warp, where it just looks
Almost
like
like
someone
a cartoon version.
just smudged it across the screen.
In the comments, people are talking about going to conventions. If you are going to go to this year's destination, we'd love to know if you're going. So make sure you say hello in the comments and tell us if you're going or not. Oh.
You're not allowed
Easter
to
egg?
open that yet, surely. You're not allowed to open that yet.
Yes, you are. It's nearly Easter.
Well, that means it isn't Easter, so therefore you're not allowed to open it.
That's a sort of legal ambiguity.
Not at all.
It's
Plain and
Easter.
simple fact.
Well, let me try something. Smite me down, oh mighty smiter. Nope, God doesn't care.
Daniel there mocking other people's faiths.
Yeah. As will we, Nadeem. Ah, look at that. We have fans. Would love to meet us. With the lead pipe in the shuttle bay.
At this point, where are the rest of Cyborg supporters?
They're all still unconscious in the shuttle.
I will enjoy my chocolate. It's very true. God's too busy to smite me. He's busy flying a starship.
Ah. Yes, we were at the last Birmingham Con.
Yes, we had much
That
fun.
seems a long time ago, doesn't it?
It does seem a very long time ago. Now, had that been the original series, Uhura would, of course, have said, "Captain, I'm frightened."
Here we have the only example seen on screen of a Star Trek toilet.
Yep. And one which you must not flush whilst in space dock. Isn't it such a good job there? He said, I happen to know you don't have any siblings.
Surely McCoy would know about Spock's brother, having had Spock's capture.
Yes.
You would have thought so.
I've got all his marbles, Jim.
You know, when Spock comes out with comments like that, it's easy to see why Sheldon off the Big Band was modelled after him. So similar.
If I were designing a brig, I'd obviously build into it all sorts of trapdoors and things so you can access sensitive electronics, rather than just a solid steel box.
Very much TNG corridors. Yes, we have, Hafster. We're about an hour in, I'm afraid. But don't worry, it's Star Trek V. You haven't missed much.
The twin planet to Shakari is, of course, Rajamura.
It's what, sorry, James?
Rajamura.
Rajamura.
And then
I
there's
feel
the
that should
moon
be a
of
joke,
Rajamura
but
of
it's not working.
Tumatit Dupton.
Yes.
Shakari obviously being a play on the word Sean Connery.
Yes.
I once went to Brusnuten.
I love the fact that no alarms have gone off. You've blown a massive
Yep.
hole.
Huge hole in the brig. Scotsman stood there shouting his head off. No one comes to check.
Gets me every time, that scene. Boom.
What was that sound effect again, James?
Boom. It's like when I used this gold brick to slap myself around the head during one of our earlier cocktail attempts.
how very strong you are to lift that gold brick with one hand. Now we're going to play the game where we count the numbers on the decks. So it starts at bottom 6, 7, 8.
I mean, apart from the fact that the
They go in the wrong
Constitution
way.
class has 21 decks, they're normally numbered from top to bottom rather than the other way
Yeah.
around.
I was just thinking that.
I'll wait for it. Deck 12. Now, it's a bit when Spock is on the gravity boots, you'll start seeing the numbers, and they repeat as well.
Also, how did he get above them in the first place?
Yeah.
To come down the shaft. He obviously took a lift somewhere else.
Yeah.
Magic.
It's just a shame you can see the shadow of the beam behind him that's bringing him down that black strip.
People who produce Discovery, take note. This is what a lift shaft looks like.
Marshmallows. $35, $52, $64,
64, 52,
$64 again, $52, $78,
78 twice.
$78 again. Oh, I feel like we're calling out the lottery numbers. Very sorry to my staff members because I bought them all Easter eggs because I was being a good boss. I'm sorry to my staff that I've eaten your Easter egg. I will replace it tomorrow.
Have you got to the scene with the emergency transmitter?
They're just doing it now.
Just do it now.
Do you see the sort of square griddy thing on the back of it?
Yeah.
Those are ice cube trays, which have been used for set dressing, but they are in fact the precise ones used to mold the coloured buttons on the original series bridge.
Oh.
There's a
And
piece of trivia for you. It took me years to track one of those down.
Oh.
Don't you have one now? I was gonna say.
I do. At some point, I intend to cast some buttons from it.
Maybe you could use TOS ice in your next cocktail. James keeps changing his tablet background. It's now Kit, but it was Stargate before.
Ah, the Enterprise D sickbay.
Mm.
No. The Enterprise, the Enterprise T-ship, Sigway. Okay.
Well, of course, this film was made roughly concurrently with season 2 or 3 of TNG.
Ah. Right. We just been asked what time we were at on the movie by Hafster.
I've got 104.06.
I've got
106.49.
106.50, yeah.
And the chappie who played Cyborg, whose name I can never remember.
Lawrence Luckinbill.
This was his last movie on the cinematic release. Nicholas Mayer was offered the chance to pen this screenplay but declined.
Ooh.
Yeah, apparently the bridge set cost £250,000 dollars.
Money well spent.
Mm.
Which I imagine a lot of that was the screens and displays and stuff.
Gosh, imagine how cheaply you could do it nowadays.
Mm.
Hey, chaps.
Oh, good evening, sir.
Halfstairs just asked, didn't Nicholas Meyer write Star Trek 6?
He did 2, didn't he? I'm not sure. If
Yeah,
did
he did
6.
Wrath of Khan and Undiscovered Country, yeah.
I'm sorry I'm a little bit late. Roughly, where are we on the
1 hour 12.
112? Okay.
We're watching Spock's Pain.
Or Spock.
Yes.
But,
Is that his brother?
oh,
Oh,
this
human.
one. Crying. It must be Michael Burnham. Oh, that was harsh and evil of me. We love Star Trek Discovery. We are not Discovery haters. I'm going to put that out there now.
So you're not, did you say?
No, I like Star Trek Discovery.
I find it unsatisfactory and no longer intend to watch it.
No, I enjoy it.
DeForest Kelly went into seclusion after filming the death of Dr. McCoy's father because he was deeply personally involved with his own father.
Sorry, is this on Netflix? I've forgotten.
No.
You said it was on Plex, but in fact it isn't.
Oh.
Shh.
So what are you guys watching it on?
Well, I've got the Blu-ray.
I've rented it on Amazon.
Oh, Richard, if you've got the Sky Cinema, it'll be on that. It's on the Now TV. They've got all the films on there. You know, I never realised until you actually, like you mentioned about the soundtrack, you listen to this soundtrack, it's amazing how similar it is to the First Contact soundtrack. So many different riffs that I'm hearing that are identical to moments in First Contact.
So what you're saying is First Contact ripped this off?
A lot of the soundtrack, I think it probably did, yeah. I think a lot of it's based on this soundtrack.
So I take it you've covered the whole Sean Connery was originally drafted to play Cyborg in this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there anything else of note about this film that we could talk about? I've been struggling all day. Is it the only Star Trek episode to feature Morse code, perhaps?
It's the only of the first 6 original Star Trek films that doesn't have a scene filmed at Starfleet Command in San Francisco.
Noteworthy.
I think they got some sort of hippie to do these special effects, didn't they? When tie-dyeing his T-shirt.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the film The Black Hole. David Warner has played so many different characters. Very true. James, you had the privilege of interviewing David Warner, didn't you?
I did. What a sport he was.
He was a terribly nice chap, wasn't he? He was ever so
fantastic.
nice. He was very good value. He even, I'll dig it out for the show this Sunday, guys. He let us do a little cut scene where he asked James how many lights there were. It was absolutely marvellous. And then James did he basically channeled Picard and threw a hissy fit and stormed out. Originally, David Warner played, he was the Chancellor in the last one, and on this one, he's
the Chancellor in the next one.
On the next, actually, it's the next one. On this one, he's the Federation Ambassador on Nimbus 4? 3.
Yep.
Not to be confused with 3. I mean, that's not so dangerous with your Nimbuses, but with your SETI Alphas, that could cost you your life. Yeah, you don't really know that mistake. That'll land you into a whole film's worth of trouble.
SETI Alpha. Oh.
There are 4 lights.
I didn't know Cisco did that line.
Just throw that out. Just throw that out there. That's a free one. Cisco on demand. If anyone's alarmed how quickly I'm drinking this beer, it's been a long day and it is alcohol free. So,
alcohol-free beer.
it's quite nice actually. It's all right. The nicest of the alcohol-free ones are the Brewdog ones, but they're literally twice the price.
And they're Scottish.
There are some nice things that can come out of Scotland. For example, Sean Connery.
David Thompson.
The M1.
David Thompson, yeah.
The Crankies.
Nicola Sturgeon.
No.
Sorry, you said the Crankies is where I went to.
Nicola Sturgeon's very good value at the moment, isn't she? She's hilarious. It's all gone completely balmy up there. You think ours looks stupid with Boris and Keir Starmer. Look at those, why they're squabbling up there. It's pathetic.
Although she did give the NHS a massive pay rise and a tax-free bonus. You know, you have to respect her for that. What did we give our NHS in England? 1%?
No, my wife got a badge.
Oh, yeah, my wife got a badge too.
Yeah, got a badge.
Cool. Yes, because a badge you can take to the bank, can't you?
My wife rang up Boris Johnson and said, "Could I have a bonus?" And he said, "Bonus? Having a job is a bonus. Work harder or I sack you." Which is what you expect of a Tory Prime Minister and why I vote for him.
So, James, how long till you build this shuttlecraft?
Do you realise how big it is?
I was going to say it's a fair old size, that model.
Well, it can fit like 10 shock troopers in it.
It's about 6 meters long.
Okay. Oh, look! We said David Thompson, and he appeared.
Say his name 3 times, he'll pop up behind you.
David Thompson. David
Thompson is not Beetlejuice. It's not how it works.
I thought they were all Scottish people if you did that. No? Try it with Nicola Sturgeon.
She might turn up here and go something like, "Yeah."
Is that what they do? Is that a battle cry or something?
Hafster says the best thing to go out of Scotland is the Proclaimers.
What's a proclaimer?
No.
Right, okay, I'm just about ready to watch the film now. Where are we at, chaps?
Well, we're just at the end credits now.
Where are we now?
It's coming up to 122.
122, right.
Yeah.
Just
just
arrived on
wondered.
Shakari.
Oh, God, we are at the end, aren't we?
Not far off.
Well, we haven't had the line yet, don't worry.
No, you're tuning in, ready for the best bit.
Oh, look
You'll
at
look
Right, I'm
at
at
we've-
123 now, is that right?
Yeah. Just over 122 now.
Just over 122. Okay.
Yeah, they're just walking away from the shuttle.
It's amazing how much alien landscapes basically look a lot like Nevada. Not that I've been to Nevada.
If we did get to go to America to an American convention, obviously because American conventions are banging us all out at the moment to take us over there, and we drive past Nevada because it's a place you can just drive past, and we don't
we
see an
drive
axe.
past it. I would plan to get there on an aeroplane.
Yes.
No,
I think I'd prefer to drive. I've got to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm thinking some sort of
They
epic
drive on the
road
wrong
trip.
side.
No, we could do some sort of epic road trip.
In America, they have big, huge roads that they have big, huge cars on, and it's actually fun to drive, not pokey little cobbled streets like in England. So we could have we could rent one of those, they call them RVs. It's basically like a truck with a bed and a toilet in it. We could rent one of those. Yeah, and we could drive across. If we get booked on, let's say, 4 different conventions in 4 different states, we could do a road trip. I think that'd be good fun. Preferably not on 4 different days.
Or we can get a 1969 Dodge Charger and get the police to chase us across county lines.
Oh yes, I've got the hat for that.
We could see if we could break the cannonball run record.
John, I forgot Jackie Chan was in that film.
Am I right in saying if we get arrested in America, then it doesn't show up on a UK DBS check?
I suppose it
something I'll
depends
be-
on
yeah.
the charge.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do they include the colonies?
Apparently not.
Do you know what? The hair and makeup in this film's terribly good, isn't it? They're taking years off them. Oh no, this was filmed in the past, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's 1989.
Which is why Leonard Nimoy's in it and still alive.
And DeForest Kelly. And this chap who's probably
DeForest
dead
Kelly.
now.
No, he's still around, I believe.
He's still looking, is he?
I believe that.
Apparently he was
chap
Shatner's
just had
choice.
his 90th.
Yes, and he's just been inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, which is fantastic news.
Is he a fighter?
Well, he once had a feud with Jerry the King Lawler, but he never actually did any fighting. He said he regretted never actually doing any wrestling. He would have wrestled as Kirk in character. That would have been his promo.
Oh, fantastic.
It would have been awesome, wouldn't it?
See, I don't think this is fair. Richard's been on the stream for 10 minutes and we're getting to the good bit. We've had to endure an hour and 20 minutes of this to get so far.
Good bit.
What do you mean the good bit? The good bit's the shuttle crash. Smokey, you got a bear trap ahead of you. Oh, we could get an orangutan. Right turn, Clyde.
I'm not sure. Are you allowed orangutans in America? I suppose they have tigers, don't they? So, yes.
Well, yeah.
Well, it seems anyone can own a zoo.
Apparently, yes. You just need a sign that says zoo, and that's about it. That's all the criteria met.
Now, I'm just reading online on that the bits and pieces about it as well. The sound effects used for the Klingon bird of prey firing on the Godwing were the same ones used for Star Wars Stormtrooper rifles, and TIE fighter cannons were the shots hit the Godwing. So Star Wars sound effects were borrowed for this film.
That's information I did not know that I now know. Thank you.
Unfortunately, it hasn't enriched the film any further for me.
So the question is, as people are watching along with us, what should our next watch along be?
Please, something good, something better than this old shit.
Hey, don't you start moaning. You've only been on here 15 minutes.
I have been literally working for,
I know.
13 hours today.
Well, what did you do with the rest of the day? Slacker.
Oh, look at that pillar of light. It's still
Been
intact.
watching this. Oh, I know what we should watch.
Go on then.
Let's watch The Abyss Director's Cut. Oh no, it's Star Trek. Hang on, sorry. It is good though, isn't it? The Abyss, the Director's Cut. That's a cracking film. That is. That's brilliant.
It's Father Christmas.
He chose poorly.
Who's that? That mask, three from the end there. That was the mask from Metropolis. Well, that was the robot from Metropolis, wasn't it?
It looked like it, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so what should our next watch-along film be?
Oh, excuse me.
Not yet.
Nadim's just given us an idea. Why don't we do
City
a
on the
watch-along?
Edge of Forever. Oh yes.
What a fantastic
I have
episode.
a box of tissues ready. Oh yes. I'll need a box of tissues. I might actually need a girl to sit with me while I watch it, so she can cry for me.
We could do City on the Edge forever.
Yeah, let's do that. Have you got to What Does God Need yet?
Not quite.
No.
Well, how have I got ahead again?
Just
Yeah,
watching
this
the
has been happening
Turkish
all night
version.
again, Richard. We don't know how he's doing it.
Are you using the same
there you go.
DVD player?
Here you go.
No,
Now he's saying it.
Excuse me.
It's a fair question.
don't you know?
Jim, you don't ask the Almighty for his ID.
Across the world, thousands of Trek cosplayers are mourning the damage done to that monster maroon there.
Yes.
Please tell me they took the chain off before they damaged it.
And then his Spock gets it, and they're like, oh no, not another one. You know how hard it is to find that material?
They've singed it on both sides.
Shakari.
It's Colonel Sanders.
Oh. How could it have been 24 degrees today and it's now 11 degrees tomorrow? That's horrendous.
What's the matter, Colonel Sanders? Chicken? This beer's developed a fault.
Tell you what, another good shout for a watch for us. We could do Way of the Warrior. And if we choose someone that's on Netflix, people can sort of watch along as well, which...
I think a choice of an episode or a double-up episode on Netflix is a good idea.
City on the Edge of Forever is a one-parter, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes,
Very
45
short.
minutes.
Very good 45 minutes.
I mean, to be fair, we've got so much to talk about that episode. I wouldn't want to talk too much through it. I'd rather talk about it afterwards, so it'd probably fill up an hour and a half.
Yeah, easily.
Should we do next Wednesday? Wednesday watch along?
Yeah, I think I'm good for next Wednesday.
Yeah, should be good.
And James, if you're good for it, please say nothing.
Well, he didn't object. This is good.
James agrees, which is fine. So good of you to agree, James.
So Wednesday then, yeah?
Yeah. James, you've just agreed. Well done.
What?
We said you objected to object now, and you didn't object. So
Object to what?
next Wednesday, we're going to do Wednesday watch along City on the Edge of Forever.
Oh, such fun.
I mean, we kind of need a pick-me-up after this drivel, don't we? Let's be honest.
This is a great film.
Come on, I love this film. Stop it. Although, to be fair, after I'd insulted Walter Koenig by saying his name wrong, and I tried to tell him I loved this film, even he said he didn't like it. And he's in it.
He did. He did.
I believe he says as well in an interview that he was only on production of this film for 8 days.
My favourite part of our interview with Walter Koenig was when James pronounced his name wrong. Walter Koenig corrected him, and then James attempted to tell him that no, in fact, he was wrong. I think you've got that wrong, Walter. It's pronounced Koenig. In James's defence, a lackey had told him, probably for a laugh, how to pronounce it wrong, just to wind him up, knowing that Walter was in a bad mood.
He didn't seem very jolly, did he?
No, he looked tired, to be fair.
I see.
Look, we've got a blue alert going on here.
I see you, Kirk. Do you see me?
Wrong film.
Oh, sorry.
That's from a good film.
Careful, there's a Klingon on the bridge.
Cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war.
He sounds like a cartel lord, doesn't he, that Klingon?
Yeah, you tell him, Spock.
Yes, these effects are disappointing, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, this is where the rock monsters were meant to be.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't
Huge
change the
red
bulb.
floodlight.
This is where Kirk's having a bad day, so he just goes, "Ah!"
Yeah.
Right, listen for the Star Wars effects.
Yeah, it is. There it is.
And that it's a TIE
So
fighter request.
what happened then? Well, the bird of prey.
Well, you'll find out in a moment, won't you, when you meet their new captain or the new
Yes.
gunner. It's a lovely bit of soundtrack here.
Disappointing no Klingon pain sticks.
Distinct lack of Klingon cleavage on that female Klingon as well. Who were the two Duros sisters? Was it Ursula and
Lersa and Bator.
Bator?
Oh, Ryan's edits. Isn't he the guy that's done the Star Trek intakes? Yeah, where
Yes, I think he is.
he's inserted the bloopers back into the original. Very
Yes.
seamlessly as well. Some of them are absolutely hilarious.
Ah. Hello, Spocky.
He does 3 episodes back to back, 8 o'clock on a Sunday. Well, that interferes with her.
There's another web show, isn't there?
Yes. Yeah.
James, I think we're being asked about the tablet that's in the background. Is that an app?
It is not. It is a video on YouTube just to provide some visual excitement behind me.
It is rather exciting. What is it?
It's just some
yes.
original series bits and pieces.
Very nice.
So you say again, the scaling of the Enterprise, that Klingon
Yeah.
vessel.
What's going on with her hair? That looks like Romulan ale on that table.
It does.
Quick, call the fun police.
I love the way the Klingon guy's like, oh, Kirk, and Kirk's just like, yeah, whatever.
Now, there is a great series of books that tie into this, which include Q, if you want a good read. And
Q?
It's all about, yes, it's all about how the entity that was imprisoned on the planet was imprisoned by the Continuum with the help of the Guardian Forever.
Which is a nice tie-in between this film and the episode we're going to watch next week.
There's also a tie-in with the Squire of Gothos, isn't there?
Well, there's a lot of chat in Trek fandom as to whether the Squire of Gothos was a Q or not. I think in some of the novels it suggested he is, but they're not considered canon. There's a graphic novel I read where the Squire of Gothos goes up against the Q and a couple of other omnipotent beings. Like the Organians.
I mean, I remember Liam Dillon's amazing Squire of Gothos coat. You know,
Yes, incredible.
Yeah.
That was some costume. Did he won a prize for that, didn't he?
I know he did the competition. I can't remember what if he won or not, but yeah.
It was absolutely
I know
marvellous.
he put a lot of effort into it. So
Oh no, we've come to the end of the film.
what a shame.
Oh.
I mean that sincerely. I like this film.
Yes,
Oh,
that's
this
why
is
I
what we
skipped
should
it.
do. We should have a talking Trek camp out.
Oh God.
We should have a camp out in a forest and have a fire. But
Let's
make
just
sure
do
it's
a camp out in a
4G.
5-star hotel.
Well, if we go camping, I like to do it proper military style, where we just sleep under ponchos and we go fully armed.
Well, you don't take your butler. I have a feeling James is going to show us something exciting, but I'm not sure I can... here we are.
Yeah,
You know you're meant to return that when you finish cadets, don't you?
angry camping.
Well, we could, though. We could reenact all the famous Star Trek camping scenes. There's that one.
There's one in DS9 when the Jem'Hadar first appear.
Yes, there's one in Voyager, Enterprise, where they're trapped on a planet and they all go get smacked out of their skulls on magic mushrooms.
Yeah.
There's one in DS9 where Worf and Jadzia go to find the informants, the Cardassian one.
Yeah. Oh,
Jadzia gets injured.
there's a Voyager one where Chakotay and Janeway are stranded and do a spot of camping.
Yes, suffice to say, there's some camping in Star Trek. We can justify it as a camping.
Yeah, I
trip.
think we could get away with doing a camping-based episode of Let's Talk.
I think we could, yeah.
So that was a good
Where
film.
will we get Wi-Fi?
Well, I'll take some Wi-Fi with us. We'll download some. And we'll
Okay.
put it on. We'll
it in a
download
toolbox.
some Wi-Fi onto a hard drive and take it with us.
Yeah.
We would need an internet box.
No, I'll download some internet onto a hard drive and take it with us.
So I tried to download more memory
in
today,
this
but it
can.
didn't work.
Keep it fresh.
Yes. Richard, I tried to download more RAM today, but it wouldn't work.
You don't try. Do you know what? I don't even want to think about computers for another week. I should have been here an hour ago, but for printers. Ugh. But there we go.
You're going to
be
get
fair,
a
it
support
sounds
ticket
like
from
you've
me
got less
tomorrow
room
about
to
my
read.
printer.
How much should you pay for your downloadable RAM, Dan?
I think it was £25 a gigabyte.
That sounds like good value.
Yes.
Maybe you didn't download enough.
Try again.
Yeah.
My bank has no more money left in it, so obviously I did download it.
Oh.
Oh, you should reply to that email about that relative in the Congo of yours that died and left you all that gold that hasn't been claimed.
Oh, but I've already replied to the relative in Nigeria that left me some gold and is trying to bring it out. And I've also replied to, apparently there's a princess in Dubai who's trying to escape and has offered me. Oh, hold on.
For you, my friend, very special accommodation.
Awkward.
She's got nowhere else to turn, and if she can find us, she can hire the Talking Track team.
Well, that's another week of Watch Along done. So next week we're going to be doing on Wednesday at 9 p.m. The City on the Edge.
City Edge of Forever. And I think I'd like to invite anyone who's going to come along to watch, if they've got something they'd like to say about the show, possibly about the episode, possibly to jump in and just pay a little homage to it if they feel like coming on board and saying a few nice words. I think. Sorry, Dan. Go on.
No, please continue.
It's an episode that everyone that likes Star Trek that's seen this episode loves it and holds it dear, and anyone that hasn't seen it needs to watch it.
It would be good to maybe invite one of our special friends to comment in the comments next week. I'm thinking this is a job for Mr. Neil, don't you think, James?
Yes, Mr. Neil.
Mr. Neil probably knows a lot about it.
You mean Mr. Carpenter?
Mr. Carpenter, obviously, is what I meant. Mr. Neil would be our resident City on the Edge of Forever expert.
What he doesn't know about the original series isn't worth knowing.
Damn right. So that's us next week. Next week at 9 p.m. Wednesday watch along.
Looking forward to it.
And then we will. Oh, the one we've been suggested for a couple of weeks' time is Way at the Warrior, which is another great episode. So.
The one where Worf turns up on DS9.
I'm still going through my DS9 rewatch. I've just finished the little ship one where the runabouts.
That's a good one. Proper Land of the Giants. That is brilliant.
Yeah, but then it goes from that, which is a great episode, into is it Honor Amongst Thieves or whatever it is, the one where O'Brien ends up with a cat, and it's like, oh god, this is depressing.
What
James,
a great
have you managed
synopsis
to
that was.
finish DS9 yet?
No, I haven't had time.
Oh,
it's only been out for 25 years. Don't worry, you'll get there eventually.
I am a busy man.
see, we wasted an hour and 42 minutes of his life this evening. He could have been 2 episodes of DS9 closer to the end.
How many episodes have you got left, James?
4, I think.
Oh,
Actually, to be fair, the climax of DS9 was a little unsatisfactory, let's be honest.
There are certain shows when you think, if I don't watch the end one, then the show never has to finish, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah, Worf's poem.
I think you'll find that's on one of the commissioning plaques for one of the ships in the Golden Age shows. It's buried in there somewhere.
Yeah. Oh. Yes, we could probably arrange some sort of camping, I'm sure, when the weather gets better and the social restrictions get less. And
well, it's
We'll
social
need some
restrictions
sort of,
technically would allow it now. It's outdoors, less than 6 people.
We need some sort of tent.
We don't need a tent. Tents are for losers. We just sleep under a sheet.
you can enjoy sleeping under a sheet. I'll bring my tent with separate bedroom compartments and facilities.
Well, luckily I'm a short ass, so I'll just sleep in the boot of my car, I guess. I'll be quite snug in there.
You do not realise that if James fills his car up with things to go camping with, he's going to assume that he's going to the tip automatically.
Oh, it's a bank holiday weekend. I'm so excited I'm going to the tip.
Oh, bank holiday weekend and I'm on a training course. So on that happy thought, because I've got to be on my training course tomorrow at 7:30 in the morning, I'm going to bed.
Have you?
Oh yes, cyber security tomorrow.
Boring.
Indeed. The do's and don'ts of cyber security, boys and girls: do not send emails to people who you shouldn't be giving them to, and do not open attachments that aren't meant for you.
Do not send your bank details to people.
Yes. Don't forget, we are going to be holding an exclusive watch along next week on Wednesday. To get special access, all you need to do is send us the long number off your credit card and the 3 numbers off the back as a text message, along with your postcode and your house number, and we will send you a link to our special Zoom.
Don't forget your mother's maiden name.
Yep.
Yeah. And your first pet.
And keep filling
Just
in
in
all
case
those
anyone
Facebook
thinks that's
share
serious,
alongs.
do not send these things to us. Right, maybe send them to me, but don't send them to the others.
Well, so a gentleman has just put that he subscribed to us. This is a thing you can do on YouTube, which we broadcast on. If you hit the subscribe button, then you always get notifications when we're on one. So yes, thank you for hitting the subscribe button, and all you cool cats and kittens should do the same.
All right, Carol.
Carol,
Don't go looking under my septic tank, thank you.
Gone killed him. Right, I'm going to sleep before I have the cybersecurity boringness drilled into me again tomorrow. So
Absolutely, we shall sign off.
Night, everybody. Look after yourselves and each other.
right.
Well,
Pleasure as
are we
always.
able to come online at some point tomorrow with our very special announcement of information that we've gleaned that no one else in the world knows?
Ooh.
Ooh.
We do have an exclusive. Keep an eye on our social media channels.
It is exclusive.
In about
I
an
know
hour.
nothing about this. What?
I do. It's embargoed. It's information that is embargoed until midnight, unfortunately. So. We can tell you after midnight.
So when you
Well,
wake
I
up
shall
in
be
the morning,
asleep. Yeah.
when you wake up in the morning and you see that notification on your phone, you won't believe it.
It's amazing.
It's absolutely incredible.
Right. Bye-bye.
And how unbelievable that we've got the news first.
It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Absolutely.
Stay tuned, dear viewers, for an exclusive leak.
Shh. We're getting sued by CBS. Bye-bye.
Bye.
No,
Till
everybody.